How to get out of survival mode. I'm an expert at this because I always get into survival. I'm wearing this because I was just doing my laundry. I didn't have anything else to wear. I'm always in and out of survival mode, and right now I finally just got out of survival mode. And now that I'm out of survival mode, I want to fix that. It looks really dirty. I want to fix that. I want to fix that. And this is stuff I already fixed this room a little bit. You should have seen it before. It's so dirty, but when you're in survival mode, you had to pay off certain things, so you don't think about all that stuff. This is so dirty. I just cleaned the kitchen. And when you're in survival mode, you don't think about that either, but look. But when you're in survival mode, you're surviving, and you don't do things that you really want to do. And so this is horrible. I'm going to finally order a shelf. It's horribly dirty. But I wasn't able to think about that for the last year and a half. So that's how long I was in survival mode through my own fault. I tried to do a bike race. I was so broke. Imagine having everything you want right in front of you, but not be able to get it. So there's all kinds of things that I had in front of me in my race. After my race. So it's a 4,000 mile bike race. And I had everything that I wanted, but I couldn't get any of it. If that makes sense. I was so broke that anything I wanted was right in front of me, but I was blocked because I didn't have the money. There might have been people that said, hey, come over and visit, and then I just couldn't visit them. And then you don't say anything back, right? Or you just constantly change your mind because you don't have any money. Say, oh man, I can't, this, I'm broke, I don't have any money. And then you just can't visit. Or the person sees you as you in the future, but that's not you yet. And so you're disappointed what you're able to be. So that was me. They saw me for who I was in the future, but I wasn't that person in the future yet. And it wasn't necessarily about the money. It's not like, hey, you don't have any money. It's kind of like, oh, that's strange. You're not the kind of person who lives to their potential. I really thought you were. So, anyway, okay, so how to get out of survival mode. The hardest part of survival mode is you don't realize you're in survival mode, right? Or maybe you do, and you just can't get out of it, and you're stuck. It's like a little circle, hamster spin wheel. Like, at one point, all my bank accounts got closed. Or just one. Well, I only had one, so that's why all of it. All my credit cards got closed. And then I was late on rent for the first time. I was late on payments for the first time ever. And I've been closed before, and I always borrowed money. I was late on my lender's payments for the first time ever. People I've been having relationships for about 10 years. Not 10 years, 6 years. And the first thing is that you could get out of survival mode, but in your survival mode, you just want to eat, watch stuff on TV, anything that gets the dopamine instant. And you might even think you have ADHD. Oh, this. But if you're in survival mode, you're not thinking straight. And low battery. So what you have to do is you have to find out how to take a small action that moves you forward, especially when you're trying to like if you're trying to go to the movie theaters or eat something good, like $30 thing. If you find yourself getting a $30 thing, a lot of times it's because you don't realize you want to go to like a nice steak place and eat something for $30 because nothing's working out. That's because you don't see the end goal, right? And the way to see an end goal when there is no end goal, it's up to you. For me, what worked recently was I said I will finish the Trans Am bike race and have $1,000 saved. And that was like a joke last month. I laughed. And I was like, what the heck? This is so stupid. Because if I did the math, I would have to work 80 hours a week. So the math was no good. I'd have to work 80 hours a week and I wouldn't have to be able to train. But if I set the goal, I will finish the Trans Am bike race. And I said I will finish the Trans Am bike race in under 23 days and have $1,000 saved. That sets the goal, okay? And then you have to start making intentions towards the goal. So you don't do anything fancy that will push you off base, but just move towards it. And so take action. So I had to go on long rides, even though I was losing money on those long rides, because that hit towards the goal. And so what you're doing is you're setting a script, and that's like a computer. And so that's like your computer script that you're setting. And the $1,000, that would make no sense. That's impossible. That week, I got 3 long rides with massive tips when I set that intention. Okay, so things worked for a week. How about the next week? Then I kept getting frantic that things wouldn't work again. And the next week, right? I kept moving towards the goal. And then, recently, so right then, I'm at the point where Trans Am is still impossible. This bike race, it's a 30-day bike race that costs at least $4,000. And I'm going to try to do it for 2. Which 2 is possible as long as you don't sleep anywhere, like in motels. It's a 4,000 mile. Anyway, so it shouldn't have worked, but somebody that I helped in the past messaged me and he's like, "Oh, I have this job for you 2 weeks before the race. So I'm going to do their job 2 weeks before the race. It's going to make me more money than 80 hours a week of Uber all out. It's only 10 hours a day. And that means I'm going to have free time for once." And after my second solution came up, so what I was trying to find out a solution for, should I do the oil field and work for 3 months and then quit? This has the perfect schedule because it's right after the race. After that job is another job, fishing in Alaska. And it finishes right after the race, and it's for 3 months straight. Exactly what I was looking for. And so I'm like frantic. I'm like looking at all kinds of Indeed, like in between. I'm looking for pest control. I'm looking for like armed forces. I'm looking at this and that. In the end, this comes 2 weeks before this race. And it's so strange how it happens. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because that's how the race was. It was like a thrill, like a constant thrill with character arcs and all that kind of stuff. And when I did the race, there were 5 days that's like this day today, where things just align, right? So when the goal was set, and I searched it, and the way to mimic it is if you set an intention and a goal that you want, and move towards it, and then magical things will happen. And I started looking into how to get flow state and then in a day-to-day basis, different thoughts actually go through your head, and if you just can keep them constant, you can realize you're a superhuman. And if you can, and that's not the crazy thing. The recent thing I found out is it's not only with thoughts, it's also with life distractions. So that doesn't mean to say block everybody out, which I kind of did, but except for a couple of important people, because it gets so distracting. Imagine having to go to a birthday every single day, a birthday party. But there are times throughout your day where when you do get out of survival mode, where you notice, oh my gosh, that was a distraction, that's a distraction, that's a distraction, and you'll be able to notice and be like, oh, that's a distraction. And you might think it's something good. It might be someone that you meet has an opportunity for you, and a lot of times it's not an opportunity, it's a distraction. Here's an example. I was on background. I did background work for a TV series. They gave me 15 days, or maybe between 10 and 15, right? So I took 1 day to make my pitch, send them the pitch. 3 weeks later, they contact me back. Oh yeah, would you like to be in it? Great. I'm next to A-list actors. Great. Oh, look, I'm paid. I think that was paid $200 a day for that one because I was also consultant because they're looking for former oil field workers, right? So first day 1, 2, and 3, I'm like in awe that I'm around these people. Day 7, 8, 9, I realized what a distraction. I could have made a lot more money but I'm losing my momentum with this. And then looking back, I'm like, man, that 10 days where I made $200 a day was very expensive because the money didn't come right away. So that means I was still always behind. With Uber, I can get the money right away. The time schedule messes me up, and it took place in the weekends where I make the most money. So the weekends I can make 300 to 400 gross. There I was making 200 gross, 167 profit. That means I could have made 300 to 400. Now I justified it saying that it was a break. Okay, but let's talk about how to get. Okay, so say you're in survival mode. You want to keep eating. You want to just do things that are not good for you. You know, watch movies, lots of movies. Anybody who gives you attention is cool. Oh wow, this person give me attention. Any girl who's giving you attention you like, even if she doesn't fit your qualifications. To get out of flow state, please update your vehicle insurance. To get out of survival mode, you need to set the intention and try to do it quick. The quicker you can get out of survival mode, the quicker you can clean your room. This is so clean compared to before. I have to go to Walmart. I couldn't even think of things like Walmart. I couldn't even think about cleaning my car. My brain was blocked, and now it's like I have 80% more in my brain. It's like I was thinking with 20%. Imagine walking with 20% of your energy. It's horrible. Now that I'm out of it, dude. So that's why the end of the race was horrible. After the Trans Am bike race, my debt was like $20,000. $20,000. And that's where crap really hit the fan. There's not enough time here because I'll probably run out of battery. But it just, 3 months after is when it really snowballed. But there was, should I say this? You're probably watching my videos, but it's okay. I had a buddy at my house for like 4 days. He kind of invited himself there. Now, the whole goal was to stay home for 3 days and rest, so that added it by 7 days. And then PvP later, distraction. I was trying to make PvP happen, the same way I'm trying to make Trans Am happen, but I don't want PvP as much. I like Trans Am. I don't want to be around all old people with money doing the same race. Hey guys, I'm an old person with money. They all have their life set up. I don't. Trans Am was more young, hungry, crazy people. People are like, let me do something impossible. People who did PvP for like the last 3 years, or the last 3 times. It's 4 years, every 4 years. It's like the Olympics, or every 3, something like that. I want to do Trans Am, the badass race with badass people, with people who don't think like everybody else, and they do impossible things. Everybody did impossible things. I was next to this rider who was a PhD who did it with almost no money, barely any money. That person was able to fast and not eat because they wanted to go so bad, and do it on a $350 bike. I didn't think anybody had a bike cheaper than mine. And everybody else, they just realized it was just an impossible, they didn't even think of it as a possible task. It was always a possible task for them. But that's Trans Am. Oh yeah, how to get out of survival mode. Man, this is distracting. Okay, we'll continue this later. I'm gonna make the next video how to get out of survival mode. I'm too distracted right now.